Hi, I'm Amelia, founder of Social Climber, and I'm documenting my attempt to take my marketing agency from 6 figures to 7. You'll get the highs, the lows, and the mildly unhinged reality of building a business from the ground up. So if you fancy watching me either glow up or completely combust, hit subscribe. Right, let's get into what happened this week. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another vlog. You'll see me here. It says that this was a couple of weeks ago because it was. I'll explain a little bit more later. But this was me having a meeting with a PPC agency that I'm going to be working with. We're going to start working together, throwing clients to each other, and whether or not that's referrals or white labeling. So I think that it'll be a good partnership to have. So we were just running through some bits, getting to know each other a little bit better because we actually met while we were playing paddle. So there wasn't loads of time to chat then. But yeah, it was good just getting to know each other, getting to know the services that each other offer, the pricing systems, etc., and how we can work together in the future. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm actually in the same jumper, which is really bad form, but I'm not doing too well at the start of this week, just in terms of how I'm feeling, not emotionally, but physically. So I wanted to pick up the camera because I realised that there's going to be a couple of days missing. I've still been working. Yesterday, I was working towards getting the podcast live with my cell phone that you would have seen in the last vlog. So that's going live tomorrow and Friday. It's a two-parter. So I was just doing the final edits to that, making sure that there was titles, descriptions, etc., etc. And then that basically, that took up the whole day. And then this morning, I was at a client. Once again, don't know whether it was last vlog or the vlog before, but I had a meeting with the 15 people. I don't know if you remember if you watched that one. Whereas this one was the same company, but it was more based on the top level filtering down into the marketing. So it was a really good meeting. Was there for a couple of hours. I mean, I wasn't on top form, but you've obviously got to always just try and show up even when you are feeling like shit. So yeah, I'm currently just working through some things. Today I'm just trying to tie up as much as humanly possible because tomorrow I am travelling up to Birmingham. So I'm on the train, so I'll be able to work, but the Wi-Fi is never that good. So I'm just trying to get anything that requires internet sort of tied up right this second. I've got tomorrow morning here as well, but then I'm going to jump on the train for a couple of hours and then get over to Birmingham, do a little bit more work, and then I'm out in the evening. We are going to actually watch Youngblood randomly, so going to go do that, which should be fun. And then I'm in London on Friday, so I will take you along, but there's sort of not much to necessarily update on in terms of day-to-day business this week, really. I'm starting to just think about things a little bit more again, as I always do, but I'm not going to talk about what that looks like right now until I flesh it out, especially, like I say, I don't want to harp on the point, but because I'm not feeling too well, I don't want to sort of make any big decisions as of yet, but just some things need to change, and yeah, I'm on that process. There's some exciting conversations happening as well, which I will be revealing to you soon. And other than that, I promise that the next time you see me, I will have changed outfits, but just bear with me this week, guys. If I need to make it into like a week to week vlog, so like there's a couple of days next week, then I'll do that, but we'll see how we get on. Fingers crossed it'll be fine. So yeah, anyway, I will catch up with you now, probably tomorrow. So flash forward to Monday, and first things first, I jumped on a call with a client of mine, and we were discussing some emails that are going out. So we're working closely with their business development team, and we're sending out emails on their behalf to try and nurture some relationships within the email database, which then they can follow up with directly, just so that it gets them closer to that end of funnel. But yeah, we were just chatting strategically about that. Looking back over these vlogs and the edits, I can tell, and I feel it even to this day, and this is the week after, but I feel exhausted. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether I'm lacking some vitamins, but you can tell that I am just sort of getting by as best possible. So I'm just going to sort of review that, take a little look at what's going on. I'm going away on actual holiday in a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping that'll sort of replenish me slightly. But yeah, I'm just hoping that there's, I'm not getting sick or anything, but it has been going on a little while, so maybe I just need to look after myself a bit better. But yeah, so hence why I'm sort of a little bit up and down. But anyway, so this was that meeting, and then the rest of the day sort of happened. I didn't really show that. And then I jumped on a meeting with people that I am also working with, which I will show you now. I think you mentioned before about maybe doing a bit of a plug with like who we're working with, i.e. like you guys, maybe Daisy. I've got a couple of other people that I work with, like doing a bit of, because I like obviously the personal stuff gets more light, but I don't just want it to be like all me, because it's like it gets tedious as well. So it's kind of like even just doing the connection with, because we talk about openly working with partners, like I always want to freelance skill sets rather than rather than hire them in house. So we can say like actual names of companies, do you know what I mean, rather than like pretending that you guys are like work with me as in internally, do you know what I mean? So feel free to pop out social posts about that and behind the scenes of you, if you want to do like basically anything you want to do content wise. If you want to do a little video of yourselves being like, we are blah blah blah, we do this, that's like absolutely fine. Hello everyone, excuse my attire and my look. I have not that long been back from a gym session, the hybrid class that I do on a Monday lunchtime. So that was really, really good and really difficult. And then I came back, I'm sat in the office currently because I had a meeting straight after I got back from there. So I'm still in my sweaty clothes, which is not ideal. I need to go get changed and then crack on the rest of the day with work. However, I want to jump on here because it was in my mind. I've just got off the phone with the company that I outsource to for the social climber socials and email, and I've spoken about them before, but we've now been working together for a few months and they are just exceeding my expectations, and it's solidifying why delegating things that you don't want to do or you're not able to put in the best output, because the socials that I was putting out before just weren't really up to par because I wasn't investing as much time as I would do the client side. So having someone else doing it for me is just adding a different perspective, and the numbers are speaking for themselves. The followers going up, the engagement rates going up. So basically listening to a lot of other managing directors, CEOs, founders, etc., they always say about hiring correctly or getting the best team on board and starting from ground level, i.e. me, having these freelancers and going more towards white labeling and using the freelancer route is making so much more sense. And I spoke in the podcast about it. I think I spoke to the vlog about it before, but I am looking to build within and hire the greatest account management client success team that you'll ever see, but outsourcing the big skill sets that I need for all areas of marketing. And I think that it's just showing itself more and more each and every day as to why that's such a good move to make. Also as well, it's not just about the greatest skill set, but it's also about the protection of yourself. So it's just making sure that if you've got a project going on, you've got people to facilitate that. If you don't have any projects going on, or if you're not earning enough money to be able to pay these people, that they're not on the books, that you don't need to make people redundant, that you don't need to strike people off and ruin their whole entire lives. It's like, you know that you're within a certain relationship with these freelancers, and yes, you're going to treat them well as they're going to treat you well, but you're both in the same mindset of it's a project by project basis. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on and talk about that because I'm just really happy with the relationship that I'm creating with these people and the work that they're doing. And I think that is going to be a very lucrative relationship moving forward. Any clients that are going to come on board, they will be working with these guys, obviously, and myself, with certain parts of their marketing tactics. So yeah, anyway, as I say, I am literally just going to do work for the next few hours. So not really much else to catch up on. So I will probably speak to you now tomorrow. Last Tuesday, I had a bunch of things to get out the door before I could get out the door. So the priorities were doing that, getting them over to the clients so that the clients can sign them off. These looked like email newsletters and social posts for the month after. So yeah, I was just finalising some things before I jumped on a train into London. As per usual, can't really show what I'm doing, but at some point I will, and everything will just start to make a bit more sense. So bear with me, guys. On Wednesday, I decided to take my camera with me to the gym because I have been so bang on it again recently. So although feeling run down and obviously like stuff going on, like I've said, this has been just a game changer for me. I forget how good working out every single morning feels. I'm literally doing an upper lower split, so I'm going to the gym 4 times a week to do strength training, and then I'll try and do cardio around it. I just thought I'd film this one and just to prove that I was actually going to the gym and to speak a little bit about it, because health and fitness alongside growing a business, in my opinion, goes hand in hand. I don't think there are many CEOs out there that are in bad shape, and I think that's just something to be taken on board really, because it really does help you to focus each day and to remain motivated and obviously keep discipline and consistency. Just realised that I was meant to film that call and I didn't, so that was good. I have just jumped off of a prospect call actually, and it went really well. The person that I was speaking to was absolutely lovely, and that always helps. So basically, I am not going to go into too much detail just because obviously we haven't won them yet. I need to send over a proposal. I said, yeah, we need to send over a proposal, which I am going to do for next week. But I just wanted to speak you through sort of how I run these, because what happens is the process at the moment is a prospect will fill out a form usually on our website. I used to have a Calendly button on the website, but people would literally just book a call and start selling me things, so it didn't really work out. So now we have a form on there. So people will fill that out, that comes straight through to me, and then I will arrange a call with that person if I think that their company and what they need is the right fit. On the form there's quite a few questions just to filter out anyone that is either wasting time, but also some of the questions on there will just give me an indication of obviously who the company are, what their budget is, what they're after, and then I can sort of make a pre-plan of what I think would work, basically. Anyway, rambling, sorry, I just got a Teams message and that threw me off. But so basically what I do is organise the call with them from that, try and do that as quickly as possible. I'll literally say, can you do these 3 dates, like any one of these 3 dates, pick one basically, and then they pick one, and then I send through a Google Meet. I always come prepared, that's a big thing. So I'll plug in all of their form fills into Claude and say, I'm having a discovery call, how much information will I need for you to be able to produce a bit of a structure for me then putting together a proposal. And they basically spit out stuff. I run through that, make sure it all makes sense. I change anything that doesn't, or that I add anything that I want to as well. We've got 6 different things. So obviously I jump on, get a bit of rapport with the prospect, just chat, get to know them a little bit better. That's only normally a couple of minutes. Don't try and elongate that too much. Sometimes it can get a little bit awkward. So just keep that short and simple, but just try and build that little bit of rapport within the first couple of minutes. Then we chat brand and audience, the current state. So if they got anyone in-house, are they using an agency, etc. Obviously this will change on a case-by-case basis, but this was for today. Goals and success, that's important. What does success look like? For some people that is follower numbers going up. For some people that's website visits, lead form fills, the list goes on. So what does that look like for the end of the year or the end of our project time working together? Do they work with creators at the moment? The scope, budget and logistics. So what's the budget? Obviously they say what it is initially, but just to confirm that, is that on a monthly basis? Is that for a project? Is that for X amount of time? How many times would we meet up? Where are they based, etc. Normally you obviously know this before, but it's once again just making sure that you've got that covered. And then ideal start date. and if they're speaking to anyone else, so that you can make sure that you get the proposal over within a good time and that you won't get snaked by anyone else. So yeah, that was a really positive call. I haven't done a discovery call in a little while. Most people that have come on board recently have been referrals, which is obviously great. But yeah, it was just nice chatting to someone a bit different. Who knows where it's going to go? I've been around long enough to not get my hopes up about these sorts of things. But yeah, it was just nice to have a nice call. So I am going to jump off now because my team's message was to ask for a call. And yeah, I will catch up with you a little bit later on. On Thursday, I headed up to London again. This time we were shooting a podcast on the fly. So it was an event that my client was going to, and there was a bunch of other businesses there that they wanted to have on the podcast. So they reached out to them prior, and then we set up a meeting room so that it meant that the people that were invited on the podcast could come into the meeting room, sit with us for 30 to 45 minutes, have the chat, we'd film them, and then sort of they'd leave, have a 10-15 minute break, and then the next person would come in. It was an absolutely beautiful day in London. That always helps. I think London in the sun just can't really be beaten. But yeah, it was a really productive day. I'm glad we were able to pull it off, and I think there are a few more events coming up over the next couple of months that we're going to be doing on the go podcast with as well. So yeah, I'm excited, as I know that it can work really well now. So yeah. Hello everyone, I was just about to start this week's vlog when I realised that I needed to close out last week's vlog, or the vlog that you're currently watching. So I just want to say, as per usual, thank you so much for watching. Sorry that there was a week's gap in between. I started filming last week. I literally got a few clips on Monday, I think, and then it all just went to pot. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a vlog out last week, but we are back. And I'm filming again this week, so that means that next week there will also be another one. So I will see you in that one.